Your muscles can absorb blood sugar without insulin, completely independently. A 10-minute morning walk switches that system on. Most people spend years fighting a problem that had a shortcut the whole time. Here is the mechanism, and it is worth understanding properly. Inside every muscle cell you have proteins called GLUT for transporters. Think of them as small gates that let sugar into the cell. Normally, insulin opens these gates. But here is the part almost no one explains. When your muscles squeeze, like when you take a step, those gates open too, through a completely separate pathway that does not need insulin at all. When you walk, even slowly, your muscles push those sugar gates to the surface and pull blood sugar out of the bloodstream directly. The pancreas sees blood sugar dropping and has no reason to release insulin. Insulin stays low. Think of it like a building with a front door and a side door. Insulin is the front door key, but walking opens a side door that insulin doesn't control. You're going around the back, and nobody is checking your insulin levels at that entrance. Wojtaszewski at the University of Copenhagen showed that muscle movement alone increased sugar absorption by roughly 50%, with no insulin involved at all. And almost nobody is talking about this. Here is why this is not abstract. Visceral fat, the fat packed around your organs, behind your belly button, is locked in place when insulin is high. It literally cannot be released. So every time your body spikes insulin, from stress, from food, from a sharp blood sugar swing, that belly fat stays exactly where it is. But if you take a short, easy walk before breakfast, before the first spike of the day, your muscles absorb the sugar already floating in your bloodstream through that side door your muscles control. Blood sugar comes down. Insulin never rises. Visceral fat stays available to burn. Meet Diane. She is 48, works in HR management, and sits for roughly 7 hours a day. For 2 years she was eating reasonably well and doing a spin class twice a week. Her belly stayed exactly the same. Her doctor described her insulin as slightly elevated, nothing alarming. She started a 12-minute walk every morning. Before coffee, before her phone, just shoes and pavement. 6 weeks later her overnight insulin level had dropped. Her afternoon cravings, the 3 p.m. vending machine pull, had basically gone. She had not changed her diet at all. What changed was the signal her body received first thing every morning. Most videos on this topic tell you visceral fat is about stress hormones, and that morning walks work because they are calm. That is true as far as it goes. What they don't tell you is the actual mechanism, the side door your muscles control, and why that changes everything about how you approach the walk. Not stress management. Actually, stopping the blood sugar spike before it starts. Because if you think of it as a stress tool, you might think a meditation or a breathing exercise does the same job. It does not. You need the muscle movement. You need your legs actually moving to push those sugar gates to the surface. Breathing does not open GLUT for gates. Walking does. This also explains something the vague advice never could, why gentle works and hard backfires. Hard morning exercise spikes your stress hormones, which raises blood sugar, which triggers insulin, which locks visceral fat back down. You have just worked hard to reverse the very thing you were trying to create. The system needs movement, not effort. Slow is not a compromise. Slow is the specification. How many hours a day do you sit, at a desk, in a car, on a sofa? Drop the number in the comments right now. I read every one. But here is where it gets interesting. You do not have to earn this. The side door is already there. 10 minutes, easy pace, before breakfast. That is the entire mechanism. Your muscles were always ready. Here is the protocol, specific enough to start today. When, within 30 to 45 minutes of waking, before food, before caffeine if you can manage it. This is the window when your liver has been releasing sugar overnight, your blood sugar is already slightly elevated, and your muscles are primed to intercept it. How long? 10 to 20 minutes. You do not need more than 20. If 10 minutes is all you have, 10 minutes still works. What matters is that your muscles are moving, not how long. How hard? Conversational pace. If you cannot speak in full sentences, you are moving too fast. For most people in their 40s and 50s, that is around 90 to 110 beats per minute. This will feel almost too easy. That is correct. Here is something that surprises most people. The walk that feels like it's doing nothing is the walk that's actually working, where outside is better. Morning sunlight hitting your eyes within the first hour of waking keeps your stress hormone from spiking and staying high all morning. It rises, peaks, then falls the way it should. But inside works. A treadmill works. Your muscles do not care about scenery. What not to do, no stressful podcasts. No urgent emails mid-walk. No hill sprint at the end because you feel like you should be doing more. The moment the walk becomes a workout, your stress hormones spike, insulin follows, and you have undone the whole thing. Why it works, a different way to see it. Think of it like a shop that keeps its doors closed every morning. Sugar builds up outside, insulin arrives to manage the queue, and by the time you sit at your desk, your fat cells are already in lockdown. One walk opens the doors. Sugar flows in through the side entrance. Insulin never shows up, and your body stays in fat release mode for hours. Permission to start smaller. 7 minutes still activates this. Start there. Do this consistently for 4 weeks and here is what shifts. Your background insulin level trends lower, your blood sugar stops swinging up sharply after meals, and the 3 p.m. energy crash, your body running low on fuel, quietly fades. None of that requires a single extra calorie burned. It requires a consistent early signal. You were never fighting visceral fat. You were just missing the side door. If you want the science behind what your body is actually doing, explained simply, every week, subscribe. That is the only thing this channel does.